our group presentation for environmental and sustainability subject. So, but before that, I want to introduce our group first. So first there is me. My name is Reza Khairan Purgiat.
My name is Sabil Ilham Hidayah.
My name is Adia Sadrina Saputra.
My name is Fanya Feliciana Ramadhani.
My name is Sahel Panayapane.
Okay, so that is our group member. And then next, we want to talk about the introduction first. So, Rahel, this is your time.
Okay, first we want to introduce about the water. So, next, water crucial for all life. Covers 2/3 of Earth's surface. However, 703 million lack access to clean water, leading to 1,000 children under 5 dying daily from water-related disease. This scarcity poses a significant humanitarian crisis. Future engineers must prioritize water conservation, as they play a key role in ensuring access to clean water through design and resource recovery process. Awareness among engineering students is crucial to sustain life in the economy.
Next, please. Okay, so next is theory. Here we are going to explain about water quality parameters. First, what is pH? The pH or potential of hydrogen measures the acidity or alkalinity of a solution equal to the common logarithm of the reciprocal of the concentration of hydrogen ions in moles per cubic decimeter of solution. Next, what is turbidity? Turbidity is a measure of the degree to which the water loses its transparency due to the presence of suspended particulates. Turbidity is considered as a good measure of the quality of water. Third, why turbidity and pH matter? The pH of water can affect its taste, odor, and color, making it less appealing for human consumption. pH can affect the solubility of contaminants in water, making some chemicals more harmful at certain pH levels. Meanwhile, turbidity has a direct effect on the amount of sunlight available to aquatic plants. Next, how to measure pH and turbidity. There are two methods for measuring pH. First is calorimetric method, and the more accurate one is electrochemical method. Next, why pH and turbidity are important water parameters. pH is one of the most important parameters of water quality. It is defined as the negative logarithm of the hydrogen ion concentration. Actually, pH of water is a measure of how acidic or basic water is. Turbidity is the cloudiness of water. It is measure of the ability of light to pass through water. It is caused by suspended materials such as clay, silt, organic material, plankton, and other particulate materials in water. The impact of turbidity can be summarized in the following points. It can increase the cost of water treatment for various uses. The particulates can provide hiding places for harmful microorganisms, thereby shielding them from the disinfection process.
So the next is what's MLS? MLS is multi-layered soil, is an innovative and eco-friendly wastewater treatment system. MLS is based on the infiltration percolation of wastewater and involves alternating layers of soil mixture with permeable layers. The point 2 is what can MLS do? Through infiltration percolation, this soil-based technology allows pollutants to move from the MSL upper layers to the outlet while maintaining direct contact with its media, which helps in their removal via a variety of physical and biochemical mechanisms. Next. Nah, technique in making MLS filter. To build an MLS filter, the best approach is to consider the specific requirements and goals of your project. Here are some steps to guide you. The first, define your objective. Determine what you want to achieve with your MLS filter. Are you looking to filter listings based on the specific criteria, such as location, price range, or property type? 2. Choose the right MLS system. Depending on your location and the type of real estate you're interested in, you may need to use a specific multiple listing service or MLS system. Some systems may offer more advanced filtering option than others. 3. Understand the MLS system filtering capabilities. Familiarize yourself with the filtering option available in the MLS system you're using. Most MLS system will allow you to filter by location, price range, prototype type, and other criteria. Some may also offer advanced filtering options like square footage, number of bedrooms, or road size. 4. Set your filtering criteria. Based on your objective, set the filtering criteria that will help you find the listings you are interested in. This may involve setting minimum and maximum price, selecting specific prototype types, or choosing certain location. 5. Test and refine your filter. Once you've set your filtering criteria, test it to see if it's returning the listings you are looking for. If not, adjust your criteria and test again until you are satisfied with the results. 6. Save and reuse your filter. Once you've set up your filter, save it so you can easily reuse it in the future. Most MLS system will allow you to save your filters and load them again when you need to research for listing. Remember, the best way to build an MLS filter depends on your specific needs and the capabilities of the MLS system you are using. Be sure to familiarize yourself with the system and test your filtering criteria to ensure you are getting the result you want. Next slide.
Okay, materials and method next. So here's the materials. 15-liter water bottle, knife, filtration cotton, silica sand, zeolite, charcoal, and pebble. Next. So here's the method. First layer, In the bottom, add a thick layer of filtration cotton, about 2 until 3 inches, to act as a support layer and provide space for water to flow. In the second layer, place a layer of silica sand, about 2 until 3 inches. The sand acts as the primary filtration medium, trapping smaller particles and pathogens. In the third layer, add a layer of zeolite, about 18 until 24 inches, to further filter out larger particles. In the fourth layer, add a layer of charcoal. Place a layer about 1 inch on top of the zeolite to remove additional impurities and improve tests. And the top layer, add a layer of pebble before finally cover the filter media with another layer of filtration cotton to prevent mixing during use.
Next is analysis. The river water had a pH of 7.274 initially, slightly alkaline, increasing to 7.505 post-filtration. Both pH levels fell within the standard range for freshwater environments. Turbidity levels before filtration range between 11.81 and 15.59 NTU, indicating moderately cloudy water. Post-filtration, there was a noticeable increase in turbidity, exceeding the EPA's recommended level for drinking water, achieving lower turbidity levels in challenging but crucial for improved water quality and ecosystem health.
So last is conclusion. So in conclusion, the studies show that the water filtration system effectively influence the pH level and turbidity of the river water, shifting toward alkalinity and improving particulate matter removal. So the pH level stay within acceptable range, achieving the drinking water quality turbidity level may need additional treatment. Continuous monitoring and effort to enhance water quality are vital for safeguarding ecosystem and ensuring safe drinking water availability. So that is for from our group presentation. If you have any question, ask us in the comment section and we will answer that. So thank you for watching this video. See you.
See you guys. Thank you.
You guys, thank you.